Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we got a lot going on because this morning was the official presentation for Oblivion Remastered, which, surprise, surprise, shadow dropped this morning on Game Pass. So we'll be looking into this. I'll be reacting to some of it, probably not all of it. And we're now going to talk about the schedule, how this will affect it. We're going to talk about Smark Guys and its super show for WrestleMania yesterday and the future of the show. We're going to talk about goals. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We've got a good agenda of fun discussion lined up. So don't go anywhere. Sit back and relax. It's time for the Level 1 Podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo!
What is up? Today is Tuesday, the 22nd of April, 2025. I'm DSP, and welcome to the show. Today, we had an interesting lineup of stuff for you guys. A full day of gaming after yesterday's very massively bloated Smark Guys. And I was all ready to, stream the usual stuff. And then this morning, as rumored, the rumors became reality. The Oblivion remaster has officially released. And of course, everyone is playing it. Everyone is talking about it. And of course, now the hot topic is what to do. I'll tell you this. I'm playing Oblivion today. I already announced that if Oblivion did shadow drop today, that I was playing it. But the question is, when do I play it? How much do I play it? These are questions that we need to talk about and answer on today's show. Already, I can tell you there's discussion and or disagreement in the chat. Some people are like, well, this is great. Just play it tonight. You had said you had an open night stream and you were going to do Black Ops, but who cares about Black Ops? Play Oblivion Remastered tonight, right? Others are like, well, just drop everything now. Forget Blueprints, which you had already lined up and scheduled and people are waiting for. Screw it. Play Oblivion on the day stream. Others are like, didn't you just play Oblivion 2 years ago? Why are you playing it again? Someone ran a poll, I think it was one of the mods, and the poll came up that people don't want Oblivion today. So I don't know. I'm confused. We'll talk about it. We'll have a good back and forth discussion today on the show. Maybe some people will, hold on, put their money where their mouth is. Anyway, so yeah. Big topic of discussion today, all right? But also, today I'd like to talk a little bit about Smark Guys, my journey rediscovering pro wrestling over the last 3.5 months, and what I thought about doing the show, and my future for the show, okay? But before we get to any of that, okay, FYI, I have come to a determination. We've been talking for the last week about what should be the next goal reward, and I've decided that when we hit 30 goals this week of support, we're at 27 out of 30 for the record right now, okay? When we hit 30, I want to try Chipotle, all right? I've only had Chipotle many, many years ago, over a decade ago, when I first moved here to Washington State. I had it for a quick meal, but it really wasn't even like DSP tries it. It was just like a quick taste test or whatever, okay? Chipotle currently has a new spicy chicken that I'd like to try, and probably I would get a couple items. Like maybe I would either get a big burrito or one of the burrito bowls, and I could get like a quesadilla or something, and we could try a few things from there. I figured that makes sense. Rather than Wendy's, which we've done Wendy's a million times before, we could always do Wendy's again. But Chipotle is something fresh and different that I haven't done yet. So that would be a good episode of DSP Tries It for this week. So when we hit 30 goals, it's Chipotle time. So when will we be doing it? Well, depends. Depends on when we hit the goals. We could hit the goals today. We could have 3 goals today during this stream, and then we'll be doing it. Do I really think I'm going to raise $450 during this stream? No. I don't think that's happening. Okay. But if we get some good support today, there's a chance that we can get momentum going maybe within the next couple of days, right? I mean, we have 2 streams today, 2 streams tomorrow, 2 streams Thursday, 2 streams Friday. You would think within those 4 days, we'll hit 3 goals, and that'll be when DSP Tries It is. But remember, I always order it for dinner, so it'll always be between streams. So, for example, if we hit the goal tomorrow during the day stream, then I'll order it and we'll have it for dinner right after the end of the first stream tomorrow, okay? So, that's been determined. Please support the stream. Yesterday, we did not hit any goals at all. And that ties in with, I think, the content. We had Smark guys and we had the conclusion of Atomfall. And I think it kind of goes hand in hand. When I'm playing content that more people like, that people want to support and continue, you get the support. When we're doing content that's not so popular or not as in demand, you don't get the support. Which leads into my point. If everyone wants Oblivion today, I'd be okay swapping the schedule around, but we all have to agree. It can't be, a few people in chat want Oblivion, and then I play it, and then it's a slow-ass stream, and everyone's upset because I didn't play Blueprints, which I promised you all. So this is what I mean. We've got to talk about this, okay? Let's discuss it over the course of this podcast and determine what we're going to do. Either way, we're playing Oblivion today. I want to make this clear. We are playing Oblivion today. For sure, guaranteed. It's just a matter of, is it going to be after this podcast ends, or is it going to be the late stream tonight? Okay? Okay, cool. Anyway, so, guys, please, let's get some support going. Let's hit a goal today. We didn't hit any goals yesterday. We're going to talk about that in a moment, why I didn't. All right, but let's get some support. In fact, let's do quick shout-outs because there already is some early support right now. We've got 10 $1 super chats, or is this 11? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 $1 super chats from Cade. Thank you, Cade. I don't know what possessed you to do 10 $1 instead of one $10. But it's all the same to me. So thank you to Cade for $10 of support to start the stream. Ian S. did a $5 super chat. That makes him the top super chatter. Let's get that on the leaderboard. And Ian S. says, might be a good thing to wait to play Oblivion. Oh, why is that? I put about 2 hours into it today. There's so many bugs. It's nothing game-breaking, but it's very annoying. So you're telling me they shadow drop Oblivion Remaster, the entire internet is hype, and the game is full of bugs? No way. Like, that's never happened. A game that's a Bethesda with bugs? It's janky. Some people in the chat are saying it's janky. Yeah. Huh. Well, again, let's discuss it over the podcast. Thank you for your contribution, and thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it. Kay did another $2 super chat, and he says, I want Oblivion, but majority matters more. But again, here's the truth. All right, here's why this is a tough decision for me. Let's be honest. I'm an honest dude. I'm not gonna make shit up, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. All right, I want to get back on track today. Yesterday, I didn't hit any goals at all. Today, I want to get back on track. I want to hit goals. I want to get, DSP tries it soon. I want all this to be back in line. Okay. Every time that I've played Blueprints, we've hit my goal. Every single time. And every time I play Blueprints, we get a great engaged crowd of people who want to talk about the game and who are interested in it, who help me to get, solve puzzles and figure stuff out when I'm stumped. It's a great interactive stream. It's one of my favorites right now. I've been craving Blueprints for days. I'm not kidding. The game has grown and got hooked me, and I want to play more. I'm dying to play this game, and it's doing well. There will be people showing up on this stream who are going to say, Phil, why aren't you playing Blueprints if I don't play it? Because it's been scheduled and advertised all week. It's been right there. Hey, I'm doing Blueprints on Tuesday. Everyone come out for Blueprints. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I get hype. Day one. Oh, it's out right now. Everyone's doing it. Let's do it. But we could do it tonight. The other factor here is I just played Oblivion. Literally, 2 years ago, I played the entire game and all the DLC, so I know everything about it. We've already just done it. It's definitely not as hype as, I've never played it, and this is a first-time opportunity. In fact, that's my one criticism, all right? I think that the way that Bethesda has done this is great. There was no advance copies sent out. There was no insane rip people off, pre-order bonuses, season passes. They're not nickel and diming anyone on this thing, okay? And they world dropped it all at once so everyone plays it at the same time. But in line with that, okay, no one knew about it. If we had known that this was coming out 2 years ago, I never would have played Oblivion. I would have held off, and then this would have been a first-time experience with the game with modernized graphics, improved controls and gameplay elements, and now I've already played the game. So it kills the hype for me because I already know it. Like, I know it's going to look good and everything, but here's what's going to happen, I feel. I'm going to play it the first time, and it's going to get attention the first stream. I'm going to play it another stream, and it'll be less attention, and by the third stream, no one cares because I've already played it. People will start saying, did you already play this game? Why are you playing this again? That's how it is. It's just right now what you guys are experiencing is the day one hype. Okay? You are. It's the day one hype. But that will go away within a couple of days, and then no one will care anymore. So I'm playing it today for the day one hype. Don't get me wrong. It's just a matter of first or second stream. And I'll be honest, if I play it first stream, this will disappoint people. For sure. Like if I play Oblivion tonight, no one was going to be disappointed because people weren't going crazy for Black Ops. No one is going to be, oh, he's not playing Black Ops 6. Oh, what a horrible thing. No one's going to care about that. Okay? But in this case, if I do Oblivion in place of Blueprints, that will upset people who are going to be here for Blueprints. They'll be showing up for the gameplay segment and like, what happened? That's not right. We were waiting all week and now we got to wait longer because this game dropped. And I feel for them. And the other thing is, a lot of people are saying, well, just do Blueprints on the late stream. Well, I could, but a lot of people who attend the day streams can't attend the late streams, especially people over in Europe where it's like the middle of the morning. So that's going to definitely disappoint a lot of people who wanted to be here for Blueprints, right? So it's just a tough decision, right? I don't know. It's tough to, we'll figure it out by the end of this podcast, okay? I want to look at it too. We're going to watch some of the videos. I want to look at the information because I actually don't even know. I didn't watch it yet. I'm going to be watching it first time with you guys live. I want to see exactly what they've improved and stuff like that before we make our decision. Okay. Okay. It's Simply Eddie did a $9.99 super chat and says, give us Oblivion, Phil. I will. Ask and you shall receive. You're getting Oblivion today for sure. Don't know which stream, but you're absolutely getting it today. No matter what, Oblivion will be played today. Thank you for the generous super chat. Jumps us up to 27. And then there was another $2 super chat from Cade. Start Blueprints, make a dono go full of Oblivion. So what you're saying is start playing Blueprints, but if we get a certain level of support, drop Blueprints like a hot rock and swap over to Oblivion. Well, that would be kind of messed up, right? That would be kind of messed up. I don't know about that. By the way, I am downloading it right now. Apparently, it's huge because I've been downloading it for like 20 minutes and it's still not done. We're at 83%. How big is it? It must be giant. It's 120 gigabytes. That's quite large. See, that's why I'm telling you guys, when it comes to the Switch 2, people are like, Switch 2 only has 500 gigs. That's enough. Games like this are going to be huge. So you're going to end up having 2 to 3 games on your Switch 2 and you're going to have no storage space. You know, like it really is a problem that Nintendo doesn't give a shit about this kind of stuff in the modern day, to be honest. Okay. Anyway, oh, my nose itches. No, I'm not skipping it. No. Listen, just at curiosity's sake, I want to play Oblivion today. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't want to play it as a playthrough and we just play a couple streams, curiosity's sake, what did they do to remake this game, right? How did the graphics, what are the changes they did to the combat? Because I liked Oblivion when I played it 2 years ago. The only thing I didn't like about Oblivion 2 years ago was the Oblivion gates. They suck. They're just boring. You go through and you got to figure out how the fuck you get to the stupid sigil stone and you close the gate. It's so boring. It's so many gauntlets of enemies and shit. That's the worst part of the game. The rest of the game is great. The combat, all of the elements of the of leveling and everything, the factions slash guilds are really good in that game, right? It's just the stupid Oblivion gates are the most annoying part. Outside of that, the game's superb. I really liked that playthrough. So, okay. Let's see here. Dan Zach with a $2 super chat says, "I'm hyped for Blue Prince King." Well, thank you, Dan Zach. I'm glad that that you are. And you see what I mean? Like, it seems like this is one of those situations that we're gonna have fun today, no matter what. It's gonna be a great day. But no matter which choice I make of which stream to play Oblivion, there's gonna be people who are happy and there's gonna be people who are disappointed. Cypress TV with a $10 super chat says, "Great smart guys yesterday, and I vote for Oblivion on this stream." Okay, thank you, Cypress TV. Thank you for the support and thank you for your input. Okay. Well, $40 of support already is pretty darn good. Thank you all. All right. Here's what we want to do. We're going to talk about Oblivion, but I want to talk about yesterday and I want to talk about smart guys first. All right. Then we could do the Oblivion stuff and then we could come to terms on everything else and figure it out on when we're doing what. Okay. So let's do it. Let's talk about yesterday. All right. Let's talk about smart guys. Yesterday was my Smark Guys episode 14, which was the WrestleMania 41 Super Show. This was a 4-hour endeavor of me completely covering match by match everything that went down during WrestleMania 41 both nights, plus 2 special guests live, the input of Cypress TV on the fly as well. It was a big undertaking, the logistics of it, to get it set up and everything, watching all of that wrestling over the weekend. And I had told you guys about it and I had hyped it up. I mean, having these guest hosts over the last month hyped up the big WrestleMania event, right? It lasted a long time. It was fun to do. I'll be honest, I feel like that was the best episode of Smart Guys 2025. The reason being, no drama whatsoever, full coverage of the entire event, and multiple different people's takes on the matches, and some of them we really disagreed. Like, for example, I thought the Jey Uso Gunther match was good, but sadly it crushes Gunther, but I liked how it went down. I also did not like the Tiffany Charlotte match, but I really liked the triple threat match of the women's title on the second night. And I also thought that the main event of night 1 wasn't very good because the ending had been spoiled already by the entire internet. Most of the hosts disagree with me. A lot of people hated that Jey Gunther match. A lot of people loved the main event of night 1 and thought it was the best thing of both nights. So that's the good thing about having guests and co-hosts. It's not just one person in an echo chamber talking. It's other opinions, other feedback, and I think that made the show that much better to have it like that. Okay? Now, it was my entire first stream. And I really enjoyed it. And I think viewership-wise, it did good. You know, on YouTube, it did decent. On Kick, it did decent. But we didn't hit my support goal for the whole stream. That includes the podcast and Smark Guys, okay? So I want to get you guys to just understand my perspective here, all right? Getting back into Smark Guys, I was already skeptical about it because I wasn't sold that people were going to care that much about my opinions on pro wrestling when I had been so far removed from pro wrestling. I always knew that part of the gimmick of Smart Guys coming back was having PPP as my co-host. I knew that we were going to basically get like a bump of attention from the Kino Casino viewership. And that did happen at first, but that quickly petered out. Within 2-3 weeks, the casino viewers were gone, and so was their support. Even PPP couldn't bring the butts to the seats. So it became apparent that I was going to have to do something different with the show. And after shit canning PPP, all right, I knew that it was going to have to be something more interesting than just me sitting here every week talking about wrestling. So I mixed it up. I started having co-hosts, and that's different. That's way outside of my comfort zone, especially because it was the logistics of, you know, getting everyone on Discord and making that work, which I'm happy that I've now learned how to do. This thing keeps screwing up. There we go. I'm happy that I've learned how to do it because now, basically on the fly, I should be able to have like guests on whenever I want, as long as I have their Discord. I figured out all the ins and outs of Discord and how to do it. You saw yesterday when I had Ralph on, I was able to resize him and get it to work on the show and everything on the fly. I was like, oh, it's that easy. So I'm good to go. And this is great. Moving forward, it's going to benefit me. So in the long run, you have to understand this was not a waste of time. It was actually worth it to put this effort in, right? But I put in more effort on yesterday's Smark guys than I have, on pretty much any piece of content in a bit, because you have to understand something. When I'm going to do a podcast, yes, I do research for the show. Yes, I set up stuff in my PCs. I got it all ready here for today when we do Oblivion and everything. We got game news and everything here, right? But it's pretty simple. It's time consuming, but it's simple, all right? To do Smark guys, this is an incredible investment of time. I have to watch hours and hours of pro wrestling over the course of the week. I have to take copious notes because some people are like, how is watching TV work? Because I'm not just watching TV. I'm sitting here and every fucking match I'm typing a ridiculous amount of notes in my phone about what's going on in the match so that I can reference this later on the show. It's a work. It is work. It's the same as if you're watching a movie and reviewing it and you're taking notes and everything, it's just as serious as that. Okay. And then to have these guests, working with them, working on a schedule, getting, OBS and Discord set up and everything. It's a lot of work. It's twice as much work as a regular stream for me. A gameplay stream? Are you kidding me? That's the easiest, right? You just set it up, you play it through OBS. Yeah, sometimes you have technical difficulties, but for the most part, that's the cakewalk stuff. You know what I mean? But this show's tough to do. It's challenging because of the amount of work and time investment. So for me yesterday, I was there doing the show. I'm having a blast. I'm like, wow, this actually is like a really professional piece of content. I'm covering every match. We've got guests chiming in. This is great. And then for the end of the show to see, we didn't even hit my basic support goal for a stream, which we've been hitting pretty regularly, let's be honest, except for oddball streams like Pirate Yakuza or last night's Atom Fall, which is the end of a lengthy playthrough that wasn't that popular. My streams have been doing good. So why is the thing that I just put the most time and effort into doing the worst, right? And so sometimes what you got to do is you have to look at things like this, right? And you have to say, is it worth the time? Is it worth the effort? I think that the quality of the product I'm putting out is good, but sadly, I'm going to be honest. I think that because I've been so far removed from pro wrestling for so long, there really isn't many people on the internet saying, gee, I want to hear DSP's opinions on pro wrestling. You know what I mean? And I don't think that even when PPP was part of the show, I think that was the case as well. That people would tune in from time to time to see some drama, and then maybe a few people would want to hear the wrestling. But the wrestling crowd was not coming to the show and supporting it in droves or anything like that. Okay? Now, if you want to know the truth, are you ready for a shocker? Because this is going to be a truth bomb. All right? Are you ready for this? Was Smark guys ever really that popular? Even back in the day when I used to do the show originally with John Rambo as my co-host? The answer is very simple. No. Smark guys was actually never that popular. Even back in the day, the most popular episode maybe had like 20, 30,000 views. I think maybe like the first couple episodes may have like 50,000 because so many people wanted to see the beginning of the show. But back in the day, Smark guys also was not very popular. The original run, okay? And you might say, well, really? I thought no. Back then, you have to understand, I didn't have any streams. It wasn't streamed. I actually started streaming it kind of in the middle of the run of the show. We didn't have any support during live streams. It was solely based on views and ad revenue. So even back in the day, Smart Guys wasn't putting butts in seats, wasn't getting a lot of attention, and wasn't making a lot of money. You want to know the truth? Smart Guys was a way for me to hang out with my friends, make content that could diversify my portfolio of what I was doing, and then also do other things that made money. So, for example, John Rambo would come visit me on a Saturday. We would sit down and do Smark Guys for 2 hours. It would be fun to do. Yeah, we'd upload that episode and we make a few bucks. Then we'd spend the rest of the day doing games. And it was the game playthrough content that made us revenue. It was never Smark Guys. That's just the truth, okay? Now, I'm sure that over the course of the last decade, things have changed. As I've heard from guys like Cypress TV and Gahul, there is an internet wrestling community of people who are dedicated to covering everything pro wrestling. And there's entire businesses based around this. And there's podcasts and there's crossovers with real life wrestlers and all. And all this has happened in the last decade, the decade that I've been removed from pro wrestling. So sadly, I kind of missed the boat. Perhaps if I had stuck around doing Smark Guys over the last decade, I would have actually grown. I would have gotten that kind of reach. I would have gotten that kind of attention, and maybe people would have cared. But I'm going to be honest here. I just don't think many people care about my thoughts on pro wrestling like they used to. You know, more people care about my thoughts on games. More people care about my thoughts on news and stuff like that. More people show up to hang out with me on a late night chill stream than to watch Smark Guys. But here's the shame of it. I like doing the show. I do. I feel that doing different kinds of content is the way for me moving forward. Not just Phil's the guy who sits there and plays games and rages and yada yada. That's not going to last forever. I'm 43 years old. I'm going to continue to age, and the appeal of seeing me play every video game will wane. People will not be as interested. Get it? So because of that, I have to diversify my content. Okay? We've tried some things in the last year, including politics and stuff like that. Didn't really work. Maybe one day I will get back to DS politics. It's possible, but I'm just not that interested in it right now. Okay? This was a different way to diversify my content. All right? But again, it doesn't seem like it's really working. I don't know what to do because I'm trying to be as transparent as possible here. If you liked Smark Guys, I needed you to show up, engage, and support with Smark Guys. Some people did do that, but it just wasn't a lot. Most people who went by and supported that show, I feel they were supporting it just because of me, not because of the content, but because, hey, it's DSP, I want to help them out tonight. Or it was like a few people would support the show, but it was sporadic. Okay? So what to do? Well, I'll tell you this, I'm taking time off. After doing that super show, that was so much effort and time and everything. Okay? I'm not going to continue doing the show weekly right now. This week I'm taking off. Next week I'm taking off. At the earliest, I'll bring back Smark Guys sometime in May. In fact, what I'd like to do is just see what happens with pro wrestling. Right now, Monday Night Raw last night was one of the best shows I've seen in a long time. And Monday Night Raw last night was better than all of WrestleMania. I'm serious. I don't know why they actually made their yearly Super Bowl style event worse than the night after. It doesn't make sense. Why save the good stuff for after your event? But they did. It's like they held back at WrestleMania just for the show the next night to be great. Well, I'm burnt out. I don't want to cover it right now. Okay? So, I will consider bringing Smark Guys back sometime in May. When I do, likely what it'll be is getting caught up on the plot lines that I haven't been covering, possibly doing some NXT or doing some AEW. But if I'm going to bring it back, there has to be incentive and buy-in that people are going to care. Not, oh, I put all this time and effort into it. You know, I'm watching all this show. I research stuff. I try to get a co-host. I do the show, and no one shows up, and there's no support. I'm just not going to do it. I am being pulled in many directions to do different kinds of content. Today, all of a sudden, people want me to play Oblivion. But then people will say, why didn't you play Blueprints? And then people will say, oh, but you didn't play Black Ops like you had promised. Hey, when you get back to Minecraft, that's been really fun. Hey, Phil, what about Clear Obscure later this week? That's a brand new game. You're going to play it, right? Hey, Phil, what about that? What about that? It's constant. It's literally constant that people pull me in all these directions and want me to do all these different things. Okay? So I need to be using my time wisely because I'm only one person. If I was a team of people, if I was all these people working together, well, this person could work on this project and this person could work on this project, but I'm one guy and I'm in demand. People want to see me do different things. So I've got to do what people want and I got to do, make some tough decisions. Right now, I think the best decision is let's have Smark guys go on a hiatus. To be honest, it was always supposed to be the beginning of the year, the debut of Raw on Netflix through WrestleMania. That was the idea. And then we were going to see how things petered out, how things went. And if it went, like, for example, yesterday, if that show did really well, let's say that attendance was high and I hit like multiple goals and things, I was going to just continue the show weekly. I would have done one this Thursday. No exaggeration. I would have done another show this Thursday. But it was literally the opposite. So let's see what happens and go from there. But for now, Smart guys, I'm putting on hiatus. We'll see if I decide to bring it back sometime, maybe next month. But for now, I need a break from pro wrestling. Again, if you want it, ask for it. If you want it, support it. Don't say, I'm sad it's gone. When you had it, where were you? That's the best way that I can make judgments these days is who's showing up, who's engaging, and who's supporting content. If we have projects that I'm working on and people aren't showing up, engaging, and supporting, then why would I continue them? Right? Okay. I hope that makes sense. All right. So more shout outs. We have Cade with a $2 super chat. Did the copyright thing get solved? Oh, good question. I completely forgot about this thing. So the weirdest freaking thing happened yesterday. I was live streaming this podcast and continuously during this show, I kept getting pop-up warnings on my screen saying, warning, you are streaming copywritten content and the AI has detected it and we're going to shut down your stream. You must stop doing this immediately. And I was like, copywritten content? What are you talking about? This is my podcast. I'm not even playing a game. I'm not playing music. How could anything on the screen be a concern, right? So, basically what happened is I streamed my stream. They never took the stream down, but it kept popping up endlessly during the stream. After the stream ended, nothing happened. Usually what would happen is a claim would land on that on-demand stream, and it would say, hey, this is the portion that got claimed, and this is your problem. Nothing happened. I uploaded that podcast as a video. Also nothing happened. So guess what? It's exactly as I said. It was a glitch. Some idiot, some coder, some nerd at Google recoded the AI system and screwed it up, and it was flagging people's streams claiming there was copywritten content when there wasn't, and it didn't even affect anything. So, crisis averted. The sky is not falling. You don't have to worry. It was no big deal at all. It was just some idiot who's, again, probably launched something without testing it. And it is what it is. Now, it hasn't. I streamed Smart Guys, no issue. I streamed Adam Fall last night, no issue. I'm streaming right now, no issue. So, seems to be fixed. Okay. I received a $2 tip. Hey, man, I'm looking forward to Oblivion. In my opinion, Smart Guys was a little dry. Maybe make a small segment once a week about wrestling or a short show before when you game at night. I don't think you can bring the same kind of sustained hype energy that PPP has during the show, but you excel as a gamer. Yeah, but you have to understand that PPP's energy, number one, is fake. It's fake. That's his show. He's a carnival barker. That's what he's good at. He's a Pied Piper for people who like to hear high-pitched screaming. Adults don't like that. Or at least mature adults don't like that. All right? He literally is just like, how can I explain? Like, he's like Fred. Actually, that might be the best description. PPP is like Fred. He's high-pitched, he's high energy, and he just squeals constantly. And there's an audience for it. The same people who come running when he rings a triangle. Do you get it? No, it's not normal people. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but normal people don't go for that shit. People who are in my audience don't enjoy that kind of content. What he was doing was actually hurting smart guys because people were coming to hear wrestling and all they heard was the insane screeching of a profoundly overweight, over crazy hyped guy who literally was just there to try to make money. And that's why I kicked him off the fucking show, you know? It wasn't working. But anyway, um, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't think that level of energy is what we need at all in any of my content, right? Like I could sit here acting like a fucking spaz literally the entire show every day, all day, but who cares? Not me, you know? So, the gaming thing, of course, yeah, that's something that he could never do. He's not a gamer, so he couldn't jump in and do games like I do. He couldn't talk anything about the gaming industry. He's not versed in that shit at all. But but yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe pro wrestling shouldn't be a dedicated show. Maybe. Okay, all right. You know what? All right. You know what? Maybe we're coming up with a different idea. All right. Bear with me for a second here, everyone. How does this sound? All right. This is interesting now. Okay. How about this? How about a show that's a variety show? It's not a dedicated podcast like this show where we talk about my schedule and we talk about how stuff went and we talk about gaming news, but instead, it's a variety show. All right. About various different topics. Maybe one day we are covering big game news, but another day we're covering real life news. Maybe one day we're covering politics. Maybe one segment we're talking about pro wrestling. And how about this? Because I actually have my shit together now, I could actually have guests on the show from all different walks of life to talk about various topics via Discord. Hmm. I like this idea, but we'd have to flesh it out and figure out how to do it, how often to do it, how to put it into the schedule. Because this wouldn't be just a podcast for an hour, hour and a half. This would be like a actual stream, like my whole day stream, right? Would be this, and I could have various different people joining at different times for different things that are going on, right? That could be cool, and it wouldn't be the level 1 podcast. It would be a new show. My podcast would still be my podcast, but there'd be a new show going on. I don't know how often to do it. See, we got to figure this out. Like, how often do you do it? What do you call it? How does it work? Let's talk about this more. I don't want to take too much of the show today because we got to do the Oblivion stuff today, but I like this idea, and I think this is something to discuss and flesh out further. I think it's actually a solid idea to have this kind of variety in my content, okay? Also, it'd be nice if this giant hair lump would go down. Okay, I'd finally had enough. I was like, I'm gonna go whip my hair down, so I did. So hopefully now the hair stays in place and stops popping up like a big puffball. I really need a haircut, but I don't know when we're getting one. My wife takes care of that. So anyway, all right, I like this idea. Let's flesh this idea out. Let's start talking about it more. All right, let's try to figure out how to do it, how often to do it. I feel like it could definitely work as long as we decide how often to do it. Like if the show is a variety show. So let's say I do the show and it's a 3-hour show. Let's say it starts around 1 p.m. and it goes till 4, right? Well, maybe 1 hour can be wrestling discussion. 1 hour can be news. We get guests in for an hour to talk about various topics about things going on the internet. I think that'd be cool. And quite frankly, I think that could actually work because then the entire show isn't dependent on just one thing. People might just like the variety and come to support the show. People might come to, 1 week we know it's wrestling. The wrestling crowd will come by for that week. But then the next week we know it's not. But then a different crowd will. I kind of really like this idea. All right. Very nice. Okay. Well, that was a good one. Whoever that tipper was, solid idea. Let's think about this. Let's try to flesh it out. I think this could be a good new idea. The level 2 hot cast. I mean, obviously, one of the very, very common King's Court, where I sit on my throne talking about topics and I welcome people in as guests to the court to talk about these topics, right? But I mean, that's kind of cliche. I like the idea, but maybe, let's talk about it and figure it out. I don't think level 2 is stupid. We have to think of something better, okay? We have to think of something catchy and interesting. That would work. That would get people excited for this new style of show. Okay? Okay. King's Court. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Absolutely true. Kickapoo says, maybe you can do React content for a segment. You're right. That's absolutely correct. We could do that. We could do one segment where we're reacting to things. Yeah, for sure. So we could have reacting, we could have pro wrestling news, we could have other hot topics, we could have politics, we could have guests coming in to talk about various things. And the thing is, when I have a show like that, I think what'll happen is it'll actually over time get to the point where people will want to be on the show. Like, hey, I got a topic that I want to talk about on your show, Phil. Let me get on the show and we could, have a discussion about this or that. I think that would work. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Good idea. More shout outs to do. Final Fighter 87 did a $2 Canadian super chat. Focus on what you're good at, the FGC and fast food. Again, those could be topics. Absolutely. If something's going on in the realm of the FGC, for sure. What if I could get people who I'm friendly with from the FGC or back in the day on as a guest, and we have a conversation about the old days of the FGC and how fun it was back then, but also how smash mouth shit talking it was, right? That could work. Legos return tomorrow. Legos return tomorrow night. It's the late night stream tomorrow night. My late stream is a Lego night building the Piranha Plant Lego, and I'm going to try to pre-order the Switch 2 live because the pre-orders go live at 9 p.m. So during that stream, I'm going to attempt to get Switch 2 pre-orders. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Hello, Voltage. $2 super chat. Kicking it with the king. Kicking it with the king? I don't really say kicking it. Hanging with the king? I was like hanging with Mr. Cooper. I don't know. All right, we're at $50 of support so far today. Thank you guys for the early support. Okay. I got a $2 tip. So someone tipped $2 and says, you talk about diversifying content, but you have been trying to diversify your content and really nothing is really sticking. So they're saying DS Politics. DS Politics, I feel, was a misstep because I did it too early. I think that if I had done DS Politics after Trump won the election and became president, it would have worked. I did it too early. I jumped the gun. And because of that, the show didn't work. So I think it was the timing. And maybe one day I can go back to that. Or maybe I could go to it as a topic of a variety show. DSP throwback. No, throwback stuff works. When like the retro react streams and stuff, they work. And the throwback content worked for what it was. I restored the missing playthroughs. So that stuff did work. Okay. I would like to go back possibly to do the retro react nights at some point. Lego streams worked. All the Lego streams I've done, we hit goals, and we're going to do another one starting tomorrow night. Okay. And now Smark Guys, I would argue, out of everything you just described, was the most work. That's why I'm upset, because Smark Guys literally is so much investment of time to watch the wrestling and get the show working, as opposed to everything else, like the politics stuff. All I had to do was follow politics over the week, grab some stories, and the night before, get the screen captures or things ready. It wasn't that huge of a deal. The wrestling is actually the most time-consuming thing. So, Anyway, I feel like these ideas work. The problem is they just don't work as a dedicated thing. I think the idea of a variety show will work. I'm serious. Like now I think about how we've been doing it and the fact that it kind of petered out. Everything worked at first, but then when it became a regular thing that wasn't special, that's when it kind of failed. So instead of it just being the same thing every week, Smart Guys, every week, DS Politics, instead, do a variety show where you can have segments about each thing each week. And that way there's a little something for everyone. You know, to be honest, why am I still around after 17 plus years? Because I'm a variety streamer. Get it? I don't just play one kind of game. I kind of play everything. So maybe the road to success isn't Smark Guys, DS Politics, this, but instead, one super show where you do a little bit of everything. Keeps it fresh. Maybe one week we're reacting to clips on the internet that people wanted me to watch and react to. And then maybe another week we're actually talking about pro wrestling. And then all of a sudden there's politics, and then someone calls in and we get into a discussion about stuff, right? Cracker Jacks, I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out, man. Okay. Well, interesting stuff, no? All right. I like this idea. Let's flesh it out. Let's talk more about it. Because the thing is, I like the Level 1 podcast. This is the show where we talk and we have this interactive stuff and we figure this out. If I didn't have the Level 1 podcast, we would have never even had this idea. You see, that's why this show is so important to me. When idiots say, oh, the podcast is a waste of time, blah, 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 like, no, you idiot. This actually has a huge purpose. This show is great for what it does, for everything. We've come up with so many great ideas. We work out goals. We do all kinds of fun stuff on this show every day. That's why it's worthwhile, okay? So I don't want this to go away, but I definitely can see a variety show working in the long term. But look at this, different thing. Off the cuff. What was the other one? The King's Cut. Hello Voltage at a $2 super chat. What about the King's Cut? Interesting. Any other ideas? Oh, excuse me. The Positive Meaningful Content Podcast. Would I be open to having randoms call in? I don't know about that. The problem is having randoms call in, they could get me banned off YouTube. Like a random could call in and say the N-word 17 times live. So you can't. It has to be screened. Just like any show. You're on the radio, you also have to have your show screened. You know what I'm saying? You can't just have it be wild and open. It's too much of a risk, you know? Like Ralph? No, Ralph would just say the F word. We've been there, done that already. No, I'm not playing the new Fatal Fury game. I have zero interest. All right. Anyway, good ideas. Let's continue to talk about this and flesh it out further. Let's discuss it further this week on the podcast. The idea of a variety show where we talk about a variety of topics depending on what's actually hot and going on at the time. And we see where the conversation takes us. There's some scheduled guests. There's some maybe random guests off the cuff. And it could be an interesting thing. And it's not just dedicated to one topic. Therefore, it won't get stale or boring like the other efforts that I've tried. Okay, this is actually starting to sound good. We'd have to figure out when to do it, how often to do it, what to call it. A lot of things to figure out. Okay. And again, I want to emphasize that everything that I've done up to now has not been a waste of time. Why? Because each thing that I've done I've learned a little more, right? If it wasn't for me doing DS Politics and stuff like that, I wouldn't have learned the ins and outs of how to operate a show with segments that you cut between. If it wasn't for Smart Guys, I wouldn't have learned how to use Discord properly, and I wouldn't have upgraded my setup to the point where I'm using headphones and I could switch between it on the fly. I would have never had that. So all this is leading towards something better, I feel. We're getting there. We're almost to the point of finding that right thing that's going to work, you know? Oh my God, no. This is ridiculous. Someone did $2 tip and says, once a week, bring a guest on, teach them how to play a fighting game. Eventually, we'll have a tournament. Your disciples will battle it out for the king's favor called the King's Arena. That's too ridiculous. Plus, it's very hard to teach someone how to play a game from scratch if they don't have a proper background, and it's too time consuming. Like, if I had one person I was teaching how to play Street Fighter, I could do it. I can't teach 10 people. That would take like weeks and weeks of work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even, known in the FGC anymore. No one cares. I don't think that would really work, just being honest. Okay. All right, folks. So, what's going on today? Well, I'm either playing Oblivion on this stream or tonight. I'm still undecided. I'm going to be honest. I would prefer to do Blueprints now because I know we have an audience for it who wanted to attend it on this stream and support it. And they're going to be disappointed if we end up swapping streams and they can't attend tonight. Oblivion, I already said to everyone I was going to probably play tonight if it launched. So we already have people who are probably lined up to attend tonight on the late stream. And then we can see for ourselves if it's any good, if you guys want me to continue it or just do the one-off stream. So we'll figure this out by the end of the show, all right? But what I'd like to do is actually take a look at the announcement. So this morning, Bethesda did this whole big presentation. We're not going to look at the entire presentation because, quite frankly, it's very lengthy and it would take too long. But Bethesda made this official announcement. It's been thrilling for all of us here at Bethesda to revisit a game so close to our hearts with Oblivion Remastered. When we started this project in 2021, we aimed to breathe new life into a chapter of the Elder Scrolls that set the path for so many of our games after it. We never wanted to remake it, but remaster it, where the original game was there, as you remember playing it, but seen through today's technology. We were so fortunate to work with an unbelievable team and partners at Virtuous. Even though we had worked together before, we had never attempted something on this scale. Every piece of art, animation, special effect, and part of the world could be remastered. Some new voices would be recorded while keeping the originals there as well. Game systems were updated to feel better in your hands. Leveling systems modified for smoother progression and balance. We looked at every part and carefully upgraded it. But most of all, we never wanted to change the core. It's still a game from the previous era and should feel like one. We know that many of our longtime fans will be thrilled to revisit Oblivion and the land of Cyrodiil, but there are also so many who have never played it. We can't thank you enough for the support that you've given us and our games over the years. Our hope with this remaster is that no matter who you are, when you step out of the Imperial sewer, you feel like you're experiencing it for the first time. We can't wait to hear about your adventures. All the best, Bethesda Game Studios. And here it is, folks. The Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. Buy now. It's basically on everything, okay? It's like on every platform, I think except Switch. So it doesn't matter what you got. You can play it immediately, okay? From the ashes, a hero arises. So it modernizes the 2006 Game of the Year with all new stunning visuals and refined gameplay. Rediscover Cyrodiil. Navigate your own story. Experience an epic adventure and the complete story because it has all the expansions. Take a look. Look how different he looks, right? With modernized graphics. Looks completely different, honestly. Pretty cool. So, they actually have some of the clips here. Should we watch the trailer?
Here
we go. The new trailer.
I was born 87 years ago. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. This is the 27th of Last Seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the Third Era, and the final hours of my life. I have seen the gates of Oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. this is only the beginning.
Whoa.
Worse is yet to come.
Looks clear.
It's a trap.
The time of cleansing draws nigh.
Who now will save us from the coming darkness? Here you must find your own path.
Remember the Emperor!
Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
Oh. So, pause. No, not stable volume. I wanted to pause. So, looks pretty darn good. What I think the best improvement there, at least from what I can see, is the character models have been completely modernized. Like when I played Oblivion 2 years ago, all right, I had a grand time playing it. I really did. But definitely you could see that there was some jankiness in the way it played because it was an older game, and the character models were very outdated, right? So in this case, now they've modernized the visuals, they've modernized the character models, they tweaked everything. Supposedly, it plays a lot more like a modern game now. All right. Now, the story of Oblivion is great. The music of Oblivion is great. The guilds are great. Most of the side quests are great. It's actually just the Oblivion gates of the game that is the slog, you know? So, we'll see. It looks good to me. Okay, it does. And that's amazing the way that they've done it, that basically, why can't I go back? Now I can't go back? Or I have to exit out? Oh, you exit out. Okay. I think this is longer, right? The official reveal was like lengthy. Let's see how long. Yeah, see, it's 19 minutes. I definitely don't want to watch this whole thing. Just the developers talking and shit. I like that they still have all the original voices and everything. They didn't bother, changing that. Look on this. Oh God, look at his face. What's he doing?
Stop, criminal scum!
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Cheese for everyone.
Cheese for everyone!
That didn't look too good. His face looked messed up.
We are going to steal one of the Elder Scrolls from the
Gray
Imperial
Fox.
Palace. You need to find the reading room. The blind priests will deliver a scroll to you there. Do not speak to the priests. They're blindfolded. I've chosen you because you are the best. Good luck.
Stop! You violated the law. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. Then pay with your blood!
How did I do that? I'm trying to
As games
remember.
have-
Didn't I have to do it multiple times because I kept screwing up, but then eventually I did do it? I think so. I don't remember though.
Developed over the past 20 years, players have come to expect a certain suite of tools and controls.
Like sprinting. Sprinting is an interesting one because there was such a big debate internally among our teams. Some of us were absolute purists, but ultimately, we decided it's 2025 and people are going to want to sprint. In fact, all of the character locomotion has been completely redone from scratch.
Cool.
And that has a huge impact from the very beginning of the game.
Every single updated or new feature was implemented with the player in mind. It all comes down to what makes Oblivion, Oblivion. What are those features that just immediately come to mind for players when they think of the game?
The mini-games are the mini-games. Those are so iconic to Oblivion.
No, not the lock picking. Oh no. Oblivion lock picking is the final boss. Oh no. Why?
How's it go again?
Like lockpicking. You can put a fresh coat of paint on it, but you can't
no.
change it too much because it's part of the core experience.
You changed it completely, right? It's
Whether
easy.
you're returning to Cyrodiil or you're a newcomer,
I'm going to follow you and watch you and worship
No.
the ground you walk on.
you will instantly feel at home. It just feels better. We've modernized a lot, but it's still the same incredible adventure and the same carefully handcrafted world.
Well, it's about time. Do you know how long we've been waiting?
No. How long?
Oblivion is a core part of the story.
Yeah,
of...
it's weird, and here's why this is weird. If you haven't noticed, the character models look good, but they're using the same mocap from the original game. The mocap is massively outdated. So you put a modern character model with old mocap, it looks awful. It looks like a mannequin that doesn't move right? It's like, it doesn't look right at all. That's what it is. If you look in combat, the character models are looking amazing. But the problem is, it's old tech. I mean, you're talking 20-year-old tech. Sheesh.
Bethesda Game Studios. None of what we're surrounded by right now would be here if we hadn't made that game and if it hadn't been the success that it was. The effort that we put into it, the sort of the love that went into it, I think that comes across on the screen.
To have worked on something that people care enough where you're in a position where you can remaster it.
Okay, I don't care about you guys. Sorry, I don't care about you.
I was born 87 years ago. But for all these years...
Oh, we already saw it. Okay.
I-
That's just the trailer. All right. I mean, so it looks interesting. Like I definitely like these models look great. You know, these new character models and the lighting, of course, because the original game didn't have any of this kind of lighting. Look at this, right? So it's probably gonna look gorgeous. But I feel like it's gonna be kind of wonky, to be honest. I feel like that's what people were saying in the chat earlier. When you take an old game and you're just slapping on, you know, new models and things, right? That I don't know how it's gonna work. I'm very curious to try it myself and see what it's like. I don't know. And you know me, when I play these games, I find more problems than anyone else, right? There you go. Well, it's exciting. It's cool that it's out already. I've already downloaded it, but there was 2 versions. Obviously, I got the standard version. I don't know what the heck the other version was. Where did it go? It showed 2 versions here. I wanted to see what you could pay for. See in store. No. Where's the other version? It seemed like there was a special version that had extra content, but now I can't find it. I don't know. Well, whatever. So I have it. So we're doing it today. We're going to check it out. And we're going to see what it's all... Oh, okay. Cydia says Deluxe has 2 extra quests for unique armor and weapons. So are they new? Brand new quests that they added? Yeah. It'll be very interesting because everyone's kind of against each other on it. Like, some people are like, they're purists and they want it to play like the old game, and others are like, well, then what's the point? You know? So I'm curious how much they've changed, what they've updated, what they haven't. Okay. Well, anyway, there you go. And we're playing that today. I just don't know when. Again, like, I'm down for playing it now. I'm down for playing it later. I'm down for whatever. But I feel like no matter what, people will be upset. If I play it now, all right, people are going to be like, well, what the hell? You had Blueprints on the schedule all week. We've been waiting for it all week. You've been saying you love it. And now, you know, you're not going to play it. You know what I mean? And I hear you. So I already said that I would play it tonight on the late stream if it came out. And so people are already expecting that and likely will come by on the late stream to see it. I've already set up the late stream. The stream's already in place for it, right? And here's the thing. Here's the real key factor. If I play Oblivion now, then tonight on the late stream will be Blueprints. But here's the problem with that. No one's going to show up tonight for Blueprints. Everyone was expecting it to be today. The audience for Blue Prince likely can't make it tonight because European viewers can't make it to my late streams usually. And then I'm going to have I'll have a good audience for Oblivion now and no audience for Blue Prince tonight. It'll be a dead stream, which I don't want. You know? Double Oblivion? I think that's overload. If you do double of Oblivion, then people will be pissed that I didn't play Blue Prince at all, including me, because I love Blue Prince and I'm craving it. I don't know. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, man. Seriously, I mean it too. Like, no matter what I do here, people are going to be upset. So, I don't know. Like, I want to play both. I want to play Blue Prince today. For sure, I'm craving it. I've been craving it all week. I want to play Oblivion today, you know? I don't know. There's, like I said, there's no true solution here. This is what we got to figure out. We have 25 minutes to figure it out. All right? But in the meantime, that's pretty much it for today. That's what I wanted to do. So, if anything, the good thing that came out of today, number one, we know that when we hit 30 goals, it's going to be Chipotle. Number two, we have an idea for a brand new variety show that could feature various different topics as subjects. And we just got to figure out more information on that. But in the meantime, what I'd like to do is just do a little bit of chill Q&A and stuff with you guys. And so I'll tag you in the chat if you want to talk. If you contribute, I will shout you out. Let's do it. Let's hit the goal. Let's hit the goal right now. That'd be amazing. If we hit the goal now on the stream, then we don't have to worry about the goal at all, right? And we hit 28 and we're on track. Let's get back on track today. Okay. Abdullah says, Oblivion's better. It's a brand new and most viewers, including me, want to see it. Spawn Killer says, do you remember $2 who gave you $2? Yes. Am I playing Clear Obscure Expedition 33? Yes. Starting Thursday when it comes out. Give in to your cravings and play Blue Prince, says Ellipsian. Andy says, I want Oblivion now. I'm in the same boat as 3 a.m. for the late stream. Strike when the iron is hot. Well, I am. I'm playing Oblivion today no matter what. It doesn't matter if I play it now or later. I'm playing Oblivion today while the iron is hot. But it's about, do you play it extra early and then disappoint a whole crowd that was going to be here for Blue Prince? And then likely set myself up for failure tonight with a dead stream because no one's going to attend Blue Prince tonight because no one was ready for it. Right? So I go, Nito, I didn't commit. I didn't say I'm playing the whole game. It seems like people are very confused here. I'm not playing Oblivion as a full playthrough. I've never committed to that. I just played the game 2 years ago. I want to check it out. I want to see what this remaster is all about. If we like it and we play it a little bit, great. I'm not playing 100 hours of Oblivion right now. It's just not happening. Okay, that's not even a realistic expectation. We never said that was happening, and I've already just played the game. No, there's no Black Ops tonight. Black Ops is off the table now for this week, actually. There will be no Black Ops this week. Swapping games midstream doesn't work. Never works. I'm definitely not doing that. What's up, Game Boy? How are you? I received a $4.20 tip. Let's see what they say here. Is this really the first tip of the day? I think it is, because I think today we had all super chats. So Wait a minute. Was that 58 or 56? 8. Okay. So I got a 420 super chat. No, excuse me, a 420 tip. 2 things to mention. I was at WWE World for WrestleMania weekend and met with some wrestlers. I brought you up for my own amusement, and surprisingly, a few of them know you. There you go. It's not surprising. Probably they don't know me in a good light, though. And 2, since you saw Stephanie Vaquer on Raw last night, do you see why Ralph was so thirsty over her? No, not really. To be honest, no, not really. No. I just think Ralph is pretty thirsty. That's what happens when you live in Mexico. Anyway. Bone Killer says, I wish people would get news about the Fable game. Yeah, I know. It seems like they're purposefully not giving information on the Fable game, and that's not a good sign, actually. Luna the Moth King says, hit the goal on the podcast and play Oblivion now. Would that work? Listen, let me put it this way. If we hit the goal by the end of the podcast, then I don't have to worry about any kind of, support right now. And we can pretty much do it ever. Get it? But I'll tell you right now, it's going to be disappointing no matter what if I do it now. I know people will be disappointed. The only question I have is what's going on over on Kick, because we have 0 Kick support. 0. We haven't had a single gifted sub all morning. We've had super chats. I have this pen here, by the way, because I was taking notes playing Blueprints. But now it looks like we might not play Blueprints because you guys are being so pushy. So now I can't enjoy my puzzle game that I've been craving all week. But anyway, we got super chats this morning. We got tips this morning. Where the heck are the subs? Where are the subs at? Where are my subs at? Where are my subs at? It's a valid question. We've lost subs. We've lost about 70, 80 subs over the last day. They expired, and we did not get new subs to take their place. That's bad. That's awful. We need more subs on Kick. Perhaps if someone did a significant contribution to the support goal and said what they wanted to see me play, it would sway me one way or the other. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe that could happen. Am I going to do a summer-themed marathon? I might. We're doing marathons every 50 goals. Our next marathon is either going to be like a viewer's choice or the second closet clean out vest and hat retirement stream or something to that effect. But as we get closer to the summer, I'm sure we'll think up some stuff, some summertime fun. Apparently there's this game on Game Pass that's a fishing game, but it's open world. I don't know if you guys heard about this game. It's called Call of the Wild, the Angler. Yeah. Call of the Wild, the Angler. And apparently it's open world, and you go through this world doing all kinds of like like adventure missions and stuff, and like as if it's like Far Cry or something like that. But also you fish. And fishing is like the major thing you do in the game. So it's kind of like fishing combined with an open world RPG. And it's actually apparently really good. It came out, I think, last year. And it's on Game Pass. So I'd be interested in playing something like that. Maybe in the summer. Maybe that could be like a summer chill stream. We'll see. Oh, okay. DJ says, I had lunch at a restaurant. My waitress asked for a tip at the end. Makes me not want a tip. When they ask. They asked for a tip? I don't think that's ever happened to me. I don't think in my entire life, and I live in the United States, where tipping is expected. Some restaurants, I think they say if you have like a party of 6 people, or if you spend a certain amount of money, they by default auto charge you like an 18% gratuity, which means they force you to pay a tip. But outside of that, I don't think I have ever been asked for a tip in my life. How did this waitress ask you for a tip? How did this happen? Huh. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Just the whole waiting system in the United States is weird because we have minimum wage, but somehow if you're a waiter or a waitress, you don't have to get paid minimum wage. I don't understand that. That sounds pretty illegal to me, but apparently it's true that they get a base pay that's tiny because they're expected that they're going to get a bunch of tips or something like that. I don't know how it works. $2.13 an hour? That doesn't sound very appealing. Again, how is that legal? I don't understand that at all. Oh, they're not supposed to do that. So DJ says, during the bill, I was paying with my card. Usually you get a receipt and you put the tip and total on that. But she asked beforehand to add the tip and how much. That's wrong. They're not supposed to do that. Because they're not supposed to have any influence over how much you tip. So I get the feeling that waitress did something that is against the rules and could get into major trouble. Yeah. That's completely wrong what she did. Well, anyone else have anything they want to chat about today? As I try to make my final determination of what to do here. Any last minute questions or concerns, please tag me in the chat. And please, let's get some support. I mean, we literally just talked about if people support the stream, it'll help me make my decision, and no one did. No one. Excuse me. So, again, it's just a torn opinion. Some people are like, don't change the schedule. Some people are like, change the schedule. Some people are saying, play this, play that. I don't know. I can't win. Maybe I'll just flip a coin. Maybe I will just flip a coin. That way you can't blame me. It was up to chance. Right? There you go. We already did a poll. We did a poll earlier, and it went towards no, play Blueprints. It was like 58, 59% said play Blueprints. I know, because here's the thing. Some of you who are here for Blueprints because that was what was on the schedule. Some of you are here because you like the podcast and you wanted to see me cover Oblivion. So maybe you're like, oh, play Oblivion. Some people are here because they just want Oblivion. Some people don't care. Some people are here like, I'll just stick around no matter what. And others are like, I'm just here for the podcast. I'm going to leave when you start gameplay. So. Oblivion says better to guarantee a good late stream. Save Oblivion for the late stream. Yeah, I mean, again, there's going to be people who will show up for this stream because I was going to play Blueprints who are ready to watch and support Blueprints. 100%. And I feel like if Oblivion is so hot right now and everyone wants to see me play it, then playing it tonight, as I had originally announced I would, there's going to be an audience for it for the late stream. You see? King Ferb says, I'm here for your hot fish shirt. Well, there you go. Who doesn't like nice hot fish action? See that? You want to see it up close? Hold on. Look at these fish. Look at these fish. See them? Look at those fish. Those are some nice fish. Hold on. Look at those fish. Look at that. Fish. Blue fish. They're very nice. Maybe people didn't want to see that. You asked for it, so I gave it to you. I gave you what you wanted. You said, show me the fish. Oh, I actually wasn't zoomed out all the way? I wasn't. I was actually slightly zoomed in all along. I didn't even realize that. Oh, was it because of this? Oops, what did I just do? It's because slightly zooming in made this a little better, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Anyway. Fish! Okay. Enough of that nonsense. Oops, wrong button. I hit every wrong button. Okay. Blue fish, blueprints, decision made, says Flatman B. There you go. No, I mean, the whole set is blue today for blueprints. The background's blue, the text is blue. I did it all, even the shirt. I synced it all to be blue for blueprints. Seriously. Is that a mechanical keyboard? I think so. I forget what they call it. It's a certain type of keyboard. I forget exactly what it's called. Because there's different kind of keys, and it's a certain kind of keyboard. It is mechanical, but I'm trying to remember what kind of keys it. G915 TKL Lightspeed wireless keyboard. Here it is. But there's different versions. I don't think this is the clicky key. I think this is the one that has the softer keys. I can't remember. I'd have to look at my history, my order history, and I don't have that on here. But it's nice. I really like it for gaming. It's a very nice, responsive keyboard. You're looking for a blue one like that? They don't have blue. They have black and this metallic silver are the two colors that they have. Keychron? What is Keychron? Well, okay. So I'm being asked, what actually was the original schedule? The original schedule was Blueprints on the first stream and Black Ops 6 on the late stream with an asterisk next to it saying, if Oblivion Remastered did shadow drop today as rumored, we would do Oblivion Remastered on the late stream. So that's what everyone knew as of yesterday. Okay? But now you guys are asking me to change the schedule. All right. Thank you, Dimitri. Dimitri's putting me on the front page of Kick. Thank you, Dimitri. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what to do. I feel like either way, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If we stick with Blueprints, there will be an audience for it. People will like it. Hopefully we get support. We hit the goal. And it'll do decent, right? Blueprints has done well the entire playthrough. We've always hit the goal when I played Blueprints. If I play Oblivion right now, a certain group will be very excited and like it, but the people who were here for Blueprints will be upset that we're not playing it and say, what happened? And if I say, oh, we're doing it on the late stream, they may say, we can't make the late stream, right? That sucks. Now, I already advertised Oblivion for the late stream. So now, if I play Oblivion now, very well, tonight I might go to play Oblivion, and people are like, why you played Oblivion earlier? Now we can't watch it. You see? We already did a poll, and the poll was to play Blueprints. We did a poll earlier. Someone tipped $2, says, I'm going to destroy your anus if you don't play Oblivion, but the catch is not the remaster. You have to play the original. Well, first of all, no one's going anywhere near my anus, just to be clear. That's just not happening, okay? But we're definitely not playing the original. I already played the original 2 years ago. And I have a full playthrough of that right here on the channel, DSPGaming on YouTube, and the DLC. So you can watch all of that if you want. It's all available here, okay? For those who are just joining me on the front page of Kick, welcome. I'm about to end my podcast and play a game. Originally, I was scheduled to play Blueprints, which is what I want to play today, but the Oblivion Remaster just released, shadow dropped this morning. Now, I already had told my audience last night that if it shadow dropped, I would do it on my late night stream later tonight, which is around 7 p.m. Pacific time. So we were all okay with that. But now people on the podcast have been arguing with me that I should drop my entire schedule and do Oblivion now. But I think that might be counterproductive because people might be disappointed, right? There's no way to win here. No matter what I play, one audience will be happy and one audience will be disappointed because ultimately not everyone can attend all of my streams. So those who can stick around now, who want Blueprints, want that, and who want Oblivion, want that. Whatever I don't play, they're going to be upset. So thank you, Maxwell, for a $2 super chat. I appreciate that. We're now up to $66 of support. So we're more than a third of a way to our goal for the entire stream, which is $150, which would be great if we could hit that by the end. Cosmo says, God damn it, Phil. Stick to your original schedule and everyone's okay. All right, fine. Fine. We're just going to go with what Cosmo said. I'm going to play Blueprints right now. We're going to do Oblivion on the late stream. We'll see how it goes. Okay? We're just going to do that because then you're right. Because if I do it, I will please a group of people with Oblivion now. But then what about those who said, I said Oblivion was going to be tonight? Then they're going to be like, oh, shit, well, that's not cool because now we're here tonight for it. And now you're not playing it tonight. And that's going to be disappointment. Okay, let me put it this way. If I don't play Oblivion now, I'm disappointing the people who want Oblivion. If I play Oblivion now, I'm disappointing the people who want Blueprints now, and I'm disappointing the people who wanted Oblivion tonight because I promised it tonight. So it's disappoint one group of people now or two groups of people over the course of the entire day. That's how I make my decision. So we're sticking to Blueprints. Okay? It will be Blueprints on this stream. There you go. The King's Edict has been made. We shall play Blueprints. And then tonight, it will be Oblivion on the late stream. Okay? So get hype for Oblivion later tonight around 7 p.m. Pacific time. We'll play about 2.5 hours of it. But for now, we are going to do Blueprints. I know that this means that there's going to be a drop in viewership because people are, oh, I wanted to see Oblivion. Well, I didn't tell you I was doing Oblivion now. That was just your assumption, you know? Okay. That's right. It took 113 minutes to make the decision. Actually, it took 90 minutes because the podcast has been going for an hour and a half. So, all right, guys, let's do it. Let's end the podcast and let's get set up for the show. All right. So, thank you all for an awesome episode of the Level 1 podcast. I hope that you guys enjoyed. And I hope you'll stick around for Blueprints and later tonight for Oblivion. Now, depending on how things go, this could change the schedule for the rest of the week. All right, we'll see. Let's see how Oblivion goes tonight. I'm curious. But thank you all for a great show. Tomorrow, we'll talk about how everything went with Blueprints, Oblivion, and everything else. It should be fun. And I'm excited for today. I think today's going to be a great streaming day no matter what happens. All right, so thank you guys so much. See you tomorrow for the show. Peace out.